This is a big defense order that we've been anticipating for a couple of days now. Between BEL and ROLTA, the consortium has bagged a 50,000 crore rupee order, as I can see on the bottom of that screen. Did I read that those number of zeros correctly? A fairly large order that's come through for BEL and ROLTA. There you've got it, 50,000 crore rupee BMS project for which they've bagged this order. Varinder has more details on what this big defense order is and who stands to benefit from it. Go ahead.
As you rightly said, it's a 50,000 crore order. And
so the project is a 50,000 crore rupee project, or is it that portion of the project that these guys are getting 50,000 crore?
The entire project is what what I've been understanding is the entire project, which includes the BMS, the battlefield management, services, and the TCS, which is the technical communication system. These are two parts of the entire project, and the total what we were expecting was 50,000 crore. Sorry.
That's somebody in the defense ministry calling you? Is it? Oh, one of these companies that have bagged the order. Go ahead. Okay.
So the total project side is 50,000 crores, which is divided into two: BMS, battlefield management system, and the TCS, which is the technical communication system. Now, what we have been reporting is that that there will be two consortium partners. The one is the BEL and ROLTA, which will get around.
So there are two consortia actually.
There are two consortia. One is the BEL and ROLTA, and second is the L&T and Tata Power. Now, what we have been reporting and what we have been, our sources were telling us that both of them, BEL and ROLTA, will get 70% of the total 50,000 crore, and the remaining L&T and Tata Power will be nearly 30,000 crore. Now, this, of course, is good news or a great news for both the companies.
30,000 crores or 50,000? 30%?
70%.
70% to BEL ROLTA. 30% to Tata L&T.
Tata Power and L&T put together. If you just see, for ROLTA, of course, ROLTA, the total defense revenue was only 500 crores. So going ahead, that will add a lot in terms of defense revenue, which is nearly 20% right now. It could go up to 30-40%. But also one important point to remember here is that there will be a prototype which they have to develop. The period of that will be 18 months to 24 months. In that period, they will get paid. I think 80% will be paid by the government, 20% will be done by the company itself. After that, you will see revenues coming in. So for the next 2 years, they have to submit a prototype, both the consortia, and then the ultimate revenue from these projects will go on. But the good part is that there is annual maintenance cost, so they will have an annuity income, going ahead.
So the big revenues from this kick in only 2, 3, 4 years down the line?
2 years. After 2 years.
After 2 years?
After 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we have M.V. Kotwal of L&T joining us now. Sir, good afternoon. We have some preliminary details. This is Menaka here in the CNBC TV18 studio. We have some preliminary details on this big defense order of the size of 50,000 crore rupees, which we understand has been bagged by two different consortia. 70% of that order has gone to a consortium between BEL and ROLTA, and 30% of that order has come to you and Tata Power as the second consortia. What details can you share with us on this front, sir?
Actually, this needs a lot of clarification.
Okay.
It is, first of all, not an order.
Okay.
It is a program called Battlefield Management System,
sure,
which is part of the Make India program.
Okay.
Now, the part of the scheme is that they call people who are companies interested in this, which they did in last April, and we submitted expression of interest, and they have now shortlisted the top two. Now, the scheme is that these top two companies or consortia will be given the chance to produce prototype systems, which they would have to field, and after they are fielded, they would go through a set of tests, and then the final, the chosen party will get the majority of this business. Now, this is where it stands. Now, today, what has been announced, therefore, is there has been a shortlisting of the top two, and that includes one, the consortia which you talked about between BEL and ROLTA, and the second is a consortium which is between Tata Power SED and L&T.
Okay.
In this particular case, led by Tata's, the share of both partners is almost equal, and this is the consortium which is announced. Now what will happen is the process of development of the prototype will then commence, and 80% of the funding for development will be provided by the Government of India.
Okay.
Where 20% will be provided by the concerned consortium. So two consortia, this is a normal process of the Make India program, where out of the interested parties, the top two are selected. Two parties are given 80% funding by the government, to develop prototype systems. And then finally, after the due testing, then the selected party gets the majority of business. That's how it is.
Okay, so it's like a prototype beauty pageant, sir. If you win the beauty pageant, you get the order. If you don't get the order.
No, it's not like that. For example, there'll be two systems developed, and at the end of the development process, which may itself take a few years, and after that, the one which is selected normally would get a larger portion of that business. So the total business as envisaged today is between 40 to 50,000 crores. But it is not yet an order. This is like a selection for the development partners, and there will be two selected partners.
So the Swayamvar is down to two, sir.
Yeah, that is the final selection.
Okay. So the Swayamvar is down to two consortia. Now you all compete. If you win, you stand to gain from an order that sort of represents the majority of that 30-40,000 crore rupee business. So it could be an order to the tune of 20,000 crores or 25,000 crores, executable over 5-10 years, I would imagine.
After the development process is over. Yes.
After the development process is over.
Yeah, right. Okay. And during the development process, the funding, 80% is provided by the government.
So it isn't. So only 20% comes out of your pocket over the period of time.
Exactly.
Is that 20% material in any way, sir, that we should know about? Will it show up in your financial earnings suddenly as a blip in some quarter in the next 2 years?
I'll tell you the process. I am sure we will be able to discuss it a little later. What happens is, now the teams will get together with the user agencies, and then we'll chalk out what exactly the details of involved in the development process.
Okay.
And then we'll get a better picture of I can tell you it will be, the sums involved will be a little more than 500 crores for the development process itself. But how much they will be, they'll come out a little later.
All right, thanks. Mr. Kotwal, so it isn't time yet to congratulate you in any fashion.
Well, it is a very tough thing to, first of all, get shortlisted amongst the top two. You might remember that we got similarly shortlisted in the tactical communication system, which was the first one. And in that, again, the consortium that time led by L&T and part of it is Tata Power, we got selected. So in both these very major programs of very great tactical communication systems, and the battlefield management systems, I think both have got involved. So it's something which is really very difficult to get. There were 14 parties which were really called for the battlefield management system, and that's how the selection was done.
Many congratulations then. So my colleague Varinder has some questions for you as well, sir.
Mr. Kotwal, I just wanted to know that this ratio of that 70-30 which is being talked in the market, is it right to understand that, going ahead after 2 years or 18 months, that will be the proportion which will be divided between two consortiums, or is it too early to even, discuss about that?
Yeah, it is a bit premature. The reason is very simple, that these systems are very complex ones. It is not something which you just buy off what is available. So the two parties will independently develop systems which meet the customers or the end user's requirement. And the user will then get to test both of them, and then pick and choose which are the features of which he would want in the final system. So the composition of how much each consortium will share, it is rather premature to talk about.
So exactly what is it that this battlefield management system entails? Can you talk about what it is that you will be building as a prototype, or is that classified?
No. It's in short, it's a command and control system. You see what happens in today's warfare, the digitalized warfare as you would call it, you need communication between the command center and finally the soldier. So it is a part of the whole process which is called OODA, which is observe, orient, decide and act. That's the kind of loop which is normally used. So this will be a unique system which will place the Indian Army on a much higher pedestal, because right from the command center to the soldier who is on the field, there will be a complete system which will gather information on what is happening and get back to the final decision on actual action to be taken. So it's a very complex encrypted system, and therefore it will really place us amongst the top forces in the world once such a thing is implemented.
Sir, what are the chances that, after 18 months or 24 months, even after developing the prototype, is it final that these two consortiums will back the final order, or there could be a slip between the cup and the lip?
No. That is absolutely certain. The whole foundation of the Make India program, first of all, why such a thing was required is because we are talking about systems which do not exist as ready-made systems.
Right.
And it's got to be absolutely designed to suit our own requirements. So it's a very secure system, and it's really good that apart from the traditional organizations like BEL and others, now selected organizations have been given a chance. And let me tell you, to even qualify or be selected, we had to have a track record of having supplied, various equipment over the years, which have given confidence to the MOD that we can meet the requirements of.
So it will be down to these two consortia to bag proportions of that order. So quick 10-second clarificatory answer. You keep referring to Make in India, or Make India rather. That's the defense program, right? You're not referring to the Modi government's program, because you said you were called in April, and at that point the government hadn't even been elected. So
No, you're absolutely. It's good you brought out this, because there's often confusion.
Yeah.
Make India is a categorization of the procurement policy of the Government of India, which has been announced some time back. And the first program in that category was the tactical communication system, which was some years back it has been done. Of course, there were some formalities because of which it has not yet got activated, but it will soon get activated now, we expect. Now, the second program is this one, battlefield management, and there are several more major programs which are coming into this category. This is quite different from the Make in India, which is a general term applicable across.
Right.
So this is Make India is basically a defense procurement category.
All right,
and
we
this
get
is
that.
exclusively meant for systems or equipment which do not readily exist. They have to be developed, designed and built, and so there's a lot of development, R&D involved, and that's why it's quite exciting for us.
All right, we're going to leave it there, sir. Thank you very much for the patience with which you've explained all of these details to us, and all the best with